Back to the podcast. I'm Ranger Mario, and today we're going to talk about the real estate market, how's it going, and other things such as elections. So, real estate agents offer free listings to liberals living in Idaho, which is a great thing. The post on Facebook and X, formerly known as Twitter, made splash as real estate firm Eagle was offering free real estate listings to liberals leaving Idaho. He said, "We are here to help you return to your safe spaces," said its post, which include a picture of a couple wearing disposable face masks. The firm in Idaho, while it got a range of responses, everything from people in full support and throwing additional offers, and all the way to the people lecturing me about being whatever hateful and unchristian. The company owner told the Idaho Statesman by phone, as of Tuesday, no one had taken Fitzpatrick up on his offer. Still, some ask, what's the kind of real estate advertisement even allowed? The short answer, according to the industry groups and regulators, is that yes, the firm's ad violates no laws. The federal Fair Housing prohibits discrimination because of national origin, religion, sex, or any other protected classes, but political affiliation doesn't count as a protected group. Under which law? The post doesn't even violate any Idaho real estate laws, either said by Bob, the spokesperson for the Division of Occupation and Professional Licenses, which serves Idaho's Real Estate Commission. Promotions like Fitzpatrick's, though, can represent a slippery slope towards a violation of federal laws. The executive director of the Intermountain Fair Housing Council, the language and graphics used can appear as proxies for discrimination against protected groups, which said this can play out a subsequent interaction between a real estate agent and a prospective buyer or seller. Whatever term that people have a stigma around or have a bias towards a further action, sometimes further statements, you know exactly what they mean. Fitzpatrick's statement that wasn't his intent, that he wants to live by people who have biblical morals and ethics, but those people can be made up of all races and religions and sexes and genders. His posts weren't intended to be lighthearted, he said, but they stem from his concern about liberal politics. There's no discrimination here. This is about people who have just gone to the extreme as far as their beliefs, and they have just become wicked, he said. The liberalism of today is not the liberalism of past decades. I've gotten to the point where I don't want that around. I don't want liberalism around my family. I don't want it around my community. Over 9% of Californians are conservatives. Fitzpatrick's estimate that over 90% of his clients in recent years have been conservatives moving from California to Idaho. He said, though his recent post was pretty out there, pretty blunt, but was still in line with the previous messaging. In comments of his recent post, he said he would never offer conservative clients moving out of state for free. He often posts videos of his social media of himself going shooting with his family. He also owns a Old State saloon, an Eagle bar, is vocal about its politics. It hosted a hetero awesome fest, even as foil to Voice Pride Festival, posted on X, offering to adopt the babies of any readers considering an abortion, and advertised a singles night only for Trump voters. The saloon has cross-posted Idaho's wild ad on X, offering to throw an additional $1,000 cash and a case of masks if its family is from Eagle specifically. People wouldn't go to the website and they wouldn't see literally we explain our beliefs on there, that we are a constitutional conservative. We believe in Creator of God, and we love the wonderful things that are in Idaho that God provided us, he said. Some agents use Patriots freedom in marketing. You will see other Idaho real estate agents take a similar tack, avoiding explicit statements of their politics, but attracting certain kinds of customers based on more subtle marketing, he said. I think other ones are clear in the way that they represent themselves as being patriots or use the word freedom in the marketing. He said it's not really being so direct so as using the words liberal or conservative. He said, but it's built guiding people to that direction. Real estate is a relationship-based business, which means many clients often already have a sense of their real estate agent's politics, or they find out as they work together. The president of Voice Regional Realtors, the largest realtor association in Idaho, once said, "In real estate, you often work with people you know, like, and trust." She told a statement by phone, "I will surmise that many people know their agent's votes, but they may already know the information without the agents having to advertise." Fitzpatrick's post is not an outlier in Idaho. Olsen said her organization has received a heads up in several cases where one real estate agent flagged another post in the Intermountain Fair Housing Council. She said she was concerned by any cases in which agents were facilitating a particular bias. It's like we're resegregating ourselves. That's what concerns me, she said. In 2023, 65% of voters who moved to Idaho from out of state were registered Republicans. The Idaho Capitol Sun reported late that year, based on a report from a Secretary of State office, which tracks the voters' registration and former home states in Idaho need residents. Fitzpatrick's post reflected a national trend in 2022. The NPR reported that, driven in part by political polarization around COVID-19 measures, people were purposely moving to places reflecting their views. Red zip codes are getting redder, and blue zip codes are getting bluer. The outlet found, which was letting both left and right leaning heavens towards a groupthink and more extreme views. Both regional realtors have a stance on whether this kind of political division in real estate it's a good or bad. If it was something else with fair housing, we definitely have an opinion about that. Race, religion, family status, all of those weather things, she told the statement by phone. As far as having a diverse neighborhood with regards to fair housing, we're absolutely wanting that diverse neighborhood. We want to see a lot of thoughts and lots of flavors, but with the political party, it's not regulated. It's not considered a fair housing issue, she said, so we don't really have an opinion about that. The nation's oldest living person died peacefully in Texas on Tuesday at the age of 115. We're saddened to report the passing of Miss Elizabeth Francis. According to the Longevity Quest, an organization that monitors, tracks the oldest people in the world, Miss Elizabeth was a Houstonian icon and cherished member of the community. At the time of her death, Francis was third oldest known living person in the world. The organization reported that amongst the 21st longest lived people in the U.S. history, the Houston resident was born in Louisiana on July 25, 1909. Following the death of a 116-year-old Californian woman in February, Francis became the oldest living person in the country at the age of 114. Prior to her passing, Francis was also the fourth living supercentenarian person who lives to be 110 years old. Francis is primarily caregiver and granddaughter of Ethel Harrison, 69, previously told the Washington Post. Her mother celebrated her 115th birthday in July with a large floral-covered sheet cake and vanilla ice cream. It may be remarkable to others, especially younger generations, realizing that a single person was lived long enough to see the end of Jim Crow laws, the signing of the Civil Rights into Act, and the assassination of Martin Luther King, the fall of the Soviet Union, and the election of the first black president. After her mother's death, Francis, her 5 siblings, were separated and sent to different homes. Francis moved back from Louisiana to Houston to live with her aunt. She gave birth to her only daughter, Dorothy Williams, in 1928, whom she raised as a single mother, operating a coffee shop in Houston to support herself, her daughter. She ran the place for almost 20 years, retiring in 1975. In 1999, she moved with her daughter. Harrison said her granddaughter offered valued life advice. Over the years, treat people like you want to be treated. Harrison also said Francis was a woman of routine. She never learned how to drive, so she often took the bus, and she liked to walk. She also grew her own hair, vegetables, and also doesn't smoke or drink aside from her occasional glass of wine. According to the Washington Post, Harrison said her grandmother's lifestyle is a majority part of her longevity. Her life was always pretty simple: early to bed, early to arise, work hard, then come home and make a nutritious meal and be with the family. It seems her family does in fact offer literal life-giving love. Francis' older sister, Bertha Johnson, lived to be the age of 106 before passing away in 2011. Longevity said two were one of the oldest siblings paired. Francis had to start using a wheelchair at 108. When asked by the media members how old she was, she joked, "I'm very young. Look at me. I'm like a little young chicken." Francis credits her longevity to her faith in God. If the good Lord gave it to you, use it. Speak your mind. Don't hold your tongue. Francis told Longevity Quest that when asked about the secret behind her long life. Well, that's all for today. Don't forget to check my Instagram at rangermario.htx and check out my website at rangermario.kw.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe, share with a friend. Till next time.